And Lee este artículo en español, the ceasefire between the United States and Iran is holding, but the war's impact is still being felt in the daily lives of millions of people in Latin America and could continue to be for months to come.
Alex Zanardi, the Italian Formula One driver who became a Paralympic cycling champion after losing both legs in an accident, has died aged 59. His family announced Zanardi, one of his country's most loved and respected sportsmen, who was credited with helping transform the perception of disability in Italy, died on Friday evening.
Vivo has introduced the Vivo S50T as a new addition to the S50 lineup. The device arrives after the launch of the Vivo S50 and S50 Pro Mini in December. The new S50T is nearly identical to the standard S50, with the only change being the storage type. While the S50 uses UFS 4.1 storage, the S50T comes with UFS 3.1 storage and is also slightly cheaper.
Milk sellers in Rawalpindi have increased the prices of milk and yoghurt without formal approval, raising concerns over enforcement of price regulations in the city. The price of milk has risen to $250 per kilogram, while yoghurt is now being sold at $280 per kilogram, reflecting increases of $30 and $40 per kilogram, respectively.
Islamabad. The Federal Constitutional Court, FCC, on Saturday rejected a plea by the Balochistan government to grant lifetime facilities to retired chief secretaries and their widows. Justice Amar Farouk, who headed the FCC two-judge bench, observed that the Balochistan government notification was over and above the pensionary benefits granted to chief secretaries.
At least 13 people, including 4 women and a child, have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on southern Lebanon. The Lebanese Health Ministry said 2 women and a child were among 8 killed in Habush in Nabati district, where the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, had issued an evacuation order.
And Japan's Prime Minister Sonai Takaichi says the country will boost ties with Vietnam with a focus on energy and critical minerals. Takaichi met her Vietnamese counterpart, Le Minh Hung, on Saturday in Hanoi, where they signed 6 agreements on issues ranging from infrastructure to agriculture to space cooperation.
A major road project in Karachi has been partially opened to traffic after missing its deadline by more than 2.5 years, raising questions over delays and incomplete execution. The Karimabad underpass in the Central District has been made operational despite ongoing work, with several components of the project yet to be completed.
And a major gravity flow water supply scheme for Mansoura is set to move forward after the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia released Rs 18 billion for the project. KP Assembly Speaker Babar Salim Swati said work on the scheme is likely to begin next week, while Chief Minister Ali Amin Gandapur is expected to visit Mansoura on May 6 to formally inaugurate it. And Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif wants to fast-track the legalization of cryptocurrency in Pakistan. He has directed authorities to make the regulatory framework for the virtual assets sector fully operational at the earliest, as part of efforts to strengthen Pakistan's digital economy and boost investor confidence.
Education boards across Punjab have increased registration and related fees for matric classes 9 and 10 students for the 2026-28 academic session, citing financial constraints. All 9 Punjab boards have officially begun the matric registration process. Students can submit their registration forms with the normal fee until June 8.
Global oil prices are sliding toward the $100 mark as Iran's latest proposal to end the war with the United States has triggered profit-taking across energy markets. Recent data shows that West Texas Intermediate is hovering just above the $100 mark, trading at around $101 to $102 per barrel after falling nearly 3% on the day. This puts WTI dangerously close to slipping below the psychological $100 level, especially as peace signals emerge. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar on Saturday discussed the regional situation in the Middle East with Kuwait's Foreign Minister Sheikh Jarrah Jaber Al Ahmad Al Sabah. The Foreign Office, FO, said in a statement, the FO said that the two leaders discussed the evolving regional situation and exchanged views on its wider economic implications. Sanam Saeed just wrapped up another major project. The last episode of her drama Pehel aired on Tuesday, and she has nothing but love for everyone who worked with her to make the show happen. In a lengthy Instagram post, the actor expressed her heartfelt gratitude to many of her team members and praised her co-stars and crew for their performances. Lucky Marwat. Unknown terrorists attacked the house of a police official with explosives in the Shadikal area of the Lucky Marwat district, police said on Saturday. A police official said that terrorists affiliated with Fitna al-Khawarij had planted an improvised explosive device, IED, at the house of Constable Tehsil Khan. The governor of the Mexican state of Sinaloa said on Friday he will temporarily step down from his post, days after he was indicted in the U.S. on drug trafficking charges. Ruben Rocha Moya, the governor of Sinaloa since 2021, and 9 current or former high-ranking Mexican officials were charged in a 5-count indictment unsealed Wednesday, with allegedly helping a faction of the cartel led by the Chapitos, the sons of Joaquin Guzman Loera, also known as El Chapo.
And low-cost US carrier Spirit Airlines has said that all of its flights have been cancelled as it started an orderly wind-down of operations after a potential White House bailout fell through. Spirit Aviation Holdings, Inc., and parent company of Spirit Airlines, today regretfully announced that the company has started an orderly wind-down of operations, effective immediately. All Spirit flights have been cancelled, and Spirit guests should not go to the airport, and the airline said in a statement in the early hours of Saturday.
Pakistan has moved up to 6th place in the latest International Cricket Council (ICC) men's test rankings after the release of the annual update. Australia remains at the top of the standings with 131 points, while reigning World Test champions South Africa holds 2nd place with 119 points. Former New Zealand wicketkeeper batter Luke Ronchi has opened up about his coaching journey after taking over as head coach of Islamabad United in Pakistan Super League PSL 11, while also addressing comparisons with former Pakistan white ball head coach Mike Hesson. Ronchi, who has been serving as the batting coach of New Zealand cricket for the past 6 years, joined the setup 2 years after Hesson's departure. Their paths later crossed again in franchise cricket when Hesson guided Islamabad United to a Pakistan Super League PSL title in 2024 before stepping down. Spotify has started verifying non-AI artists through a new badge system aimed at improving authenticity and trust across its platform. The new Verified by Spotify label will appear on artist profiles and next to artist names in search results over the coming weeks.
The United States Air Force has awarded a $488 million contract to Northrop Grumman for long-term engineering and technical support of F-16 radar systems, with Pakistan among the countries covered under the deal. According to the official award notice, the contract covers support for the APG-66 and APG-68 radar systems used on F-16 fighter jets. The work will be carried out in Maryland and is scheduled to continue until March 31, 2036.
The Federal Constitutional Court has ruled that tribal chieftains or sardars do not have legal authority to attest official documents such as domicile certificates, local certificates or computerised national identity card applications. The verdict came while dismissing a petition filed by Ghulam Ali Khan, who sought official recognition as the Sardar of the Karoti tribe in Balochistan.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is placing itself at the center of Pakistan's response to climate change, with a growing focus on forest restoration, environmental governance, and community involvement. The province is turning policy into action through a series of large-scale programs aimed at rebuilding ecosystems and improving resilience against rising climate pressures. At the heart of these efforts is the Climate Change, Forests, Environment and Wildlife Department, which has expanded its work on afforestation, conservation and regulation across multiple sectors. Its recent initiatives reflect a shift towards more structured and long-term environmental planning.
An Oscar statuette belonging to Russian director Pavel Talankin, who won Best Documentary this year for Mr. Nobody Against Putin, has been found after going missing on a flight from New York to Germany, German airline Lufthansa said on Friday. Talankin had been forced to check the award into hold luggage before boarding a flight from John F. Kennedy International Airport to Frankfurt. According to a post by his co-director David Borenstein on Instagram.
And who? Manchester United versus Liverpool. What? Premier League where? Old Trafford, Manchester When, Sunday, May 3 at 3:30 p.m, 14:30. How to follow? We'll have all the build-up on Al Jazeera Sport from 11:30 GMT in advance of our live text commentary stream. Manchester United host old rivals Liverpool for a game that could prove crucial in the battle for Champions League qualification. And a centuries-old Buddha statue stolen from a Nepali temple has been reinstalled in its original location, one of several artifacts returned from foreign museums and collectors in recent years. The statue, dating to the 13th century, was carried in a palanquin back to its pagoda-style temple in the capital, Kathmandu, to the sound of traditional music on Friday. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says some pro-Palestine marches could be banned and people who use the phrase "globalise the Intifada" could be prosecuted. In an interview broadcast by the BBC on Saturday, Starmer advocated for tighter language restrictions at pro-Palestine marches, adding that in some cases rallies could be prohibited altogether.
The government of Punjab has launched the country's first virtual women's police station to improve access to justice and make it easier for women to report harassment and seek protection. The initiative, based in Lahore, is part of broader efforts to enhance women's safety in both public and private spaces through digital tools and faster response systems. Pakistan marked a significant shift in its maritime operations as the first fully transshipment cargo vessel arrived at Karachi Port Trust, expanding the country's role in regional trade. The vessel MV Erlin carried a mix of general cargo, bulk and breakbulk goods, along with vehicles, signaling a move beyond traditional container-based transshipment.
Karachi is expected to witness severe heat on Saturday, with weather experts warning that the city could record one of its hottest days of the season. According to meteorologists, the heat remained intense on Friday as well, when the real field temperature climbed to 49 degrees Celsius. The discomfort continued into the night due to still air and persistent humidity, leaving residents to endure muggy conditions.